prostitute who lives in the city of Jericho. Natatandaan niyo si Rahab sa inyong Bible study sa pagbabasa ng Bible. Yeah, Rahab is a prostitute who lives in the city of Jericho, and we all know that God promised the city of Jericho to the Israelites. Kaya dinala ng Diyos ang mga Israelita to Jericho, pero pagdating nila doon, just outside the city, they saw that it was protected by a fortress, by a wall na napakatibay. So anong ginawa ng leader ng mga Israelites, si Joshua? He sent 2 spies. Well, remember, he sent 2 spies into the city to survey. Kung paano ba natin mag-iibayon? To scout the city. And the 2 spies met Rahab. Ayun. At itong si Rahab, tinulungan niya yung mga spies. No? Ginago niya yung mga spies para hindi mahuli ng mga soldiers ng king of Jericho. And this is where we will read now the response for the message of Rahab to the 2 spies. Can you please extend your hands on the word of God? And let us glorify His word by singing.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
And we shall read from the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verses 12 to 13. All together, please. Now then, sabi ni Rahab, swear to me by the Lord, that since I am showing kindness to you, you in turn will show kindness to my family. Give me a reliable sign that you will allow my father and mother, brothers and sisters, and my whole family to live, and that you will deliver us from death. Si Rahab, kalapaking, mababa ang lipad. Isang makasalanang babae. Pero namamarites niya, nababalitaan niya, that God performed so many miracles for His chosen nation, the Israelites. Rahab was a pagan sinner. But she knew that this God of the Israelites is so powerful, performing so many miracles. And she was moved. She was moved to help the people of God, the chosen people of God. Siguro Holy Spirit na nga ang kumilos sa puso ni Rahab. Hindi naman niya kilala ang Diyos. She was a pagan, she was a sinner. But she knew that when the Israelites invade Jericho, the city will be destroyed, all the people will die, including her and her family. Pero anong sabi ng Diyos kay Rahab? Tanungin niyo ako, ano?
Ano po?
Naku Rahab, you will not die as a sinner. You will not die as a prostitute. Tanungin niyo ako, bakit?
Bakit?
Because your story is not over.
Yes.
Hindi pa tapos ang istorya ng buhay mo. Palakpakan natin ng Diyos. Let us glorify His word once more by singing.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
Give the Lord a hand. We glorify the Lord Jesus for the word. Hallelujah. Ang tanging objective ko lang po para sa Sunday na ito, para sa part ng talk ko, is to convince all of you that your story is not over. Because some of you here, now you are living in a broken family, with broken relationships. But I'm telling you, that's not the ending of your life's movie. Your story is not over. Baka meron po dito sa atin, drowning in debt. life's movie because your story is not over. Baka yung iba sa inyo ang feeling, loser, lagi na lang palpak ang ginagawa. Baka you feel like an utter failure. Well, I'm telling you, you're wrong. Walang ganong ginawa ang Diyos na utter failure and loser. But I'm also telling you, if you're feeling that way, hindi yan ang ending ng pelikula ng buhay mo. Because your story is not over. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Amen. Palagpakan nyo yung mga sarili. Dapat ha, makonvince mo kayo. Tsaka dapat ito yung idol natin eh. O diba? Ricardo Dalisay ng Ang Probinsyano. Kasi di ba, kahit parang matatalo na, talagang wala ng pag-asang makaligtas pa. Talong-talo na siya, aba, mananalo pa rin. Di ba? Parang hindi pwedeng matalo eh. Di ba minsan, may mga istorya na parang ayun na, mamamatay na talaga siya, na-corner na eh. Wala nang pag-asa yan, patay na talaga yan si Cardo. Nabubuhay pa rin. Ganyan tayo eh. Di ba? Never give up. Di ba hanggang sa magsara yung teleserye? Sino nanonood na ng Ang Probinsyano? Dito. Nahiya pa naman yung grupo. Yan. Di ba hanggang matapos yung teleserye, namatay lahat ng kakampi niya? Tama no? Hindi ko naman yung ending eh. Nag-research ako sa Google. Aba, namatay na daw lahat ng kakampi niya, siya buhay pa rin. Aba, si Cardo, ng Ang Probinsyano, he exemplifies our message for today, right? Because when you have already experienced the most extreme outcome of whatever it is that you are going through in your life right now, always remember what I'm telling you. Your story is not over because it's the truth, so you better believe it. Palakpakan ng Diyos. The title of our series is The Garden, and we have gone through so many gardens since Holy Week, di ba? But I'd like to bring you back to the Garden of Eden. And Genesis 2:25 says, the man and his wife were both naked, yet they felt no shame. Yan ang plano ng Diyos. Na mabuhay tayo sa mundong walang shame. Walang nakakahiya. Walang na-embarrass. Walang nako-conscious. Di ba hindi nagtatago sina Adam and Eve? Di ba no? Wala silang suot eh. Walang saplot, lakad lang ng lakad. There's no shame. There's no malice. That's the perfect plan of God for the world. For us people to live in a world with no shame. Eh kaso, pasaway. No, alam mo ba natin nangyari? They had a great falling up with God. Nakumit nila ang kasalanan. Hindi nila sinunod ang Diyos. Napansin nyo? The moment they disobeyed God, anong ginawa nila? Anong ginawa? Nagtago! Nagtago. In that instant, biglang nagkaroon ng hiyak. Biglang nagkaroon ng shame. But that's not the plan of God. God wants us to live in a world na hindi tayo mahihiyan. Eh, wala tayong kailangan itago. Tignan ang katabi. Mukha ba may tinatago? Bakit sabi? Aminin. Palagpakan ng Diyos. Look at this picture. Yes! Ang pogi! Ang ganda ng picture ko, no? Ay, tuwa ako sa picture na ito. Maganda po ba? Ang flawless! No? Ay ba, hindi pa ba naman maganda yan? Sa professional studio ko yan pinagawa. Kung di pa ba naman gumanda? Di ba? Tapos, napakagagaling ng editor. Doon sa studio na yon, tinanggal na lang lahat. Tinanggal ang mga wrinkles mo dito. Tinanggal ang mga pelegis. Ano ba yung word ng pelegis? Mga marks, no? Marks in the face. Tinanggal ang pimples, tinanggal ang eye bags. Ay maleta na nga, hindi na nga bagin sa akin. Natanggal pa. May, hindi man nabura yung salamin, pero nabura yung loob, no? Yung eye bag. Kagaling. Sa tingin ko, binawasan pa dito. Dapat ako nagkaliig dyan. Ang tagal ko na naninis yung leeg ko. Parang dito, may leeg. Napakagaling. Ilang buwan ko rin namang nilagay yan na profile pic. Diba? Ilang buwan din talagang sinamantala ko yan. Kasi napakaganda. Pero hindi mo alam. What you don't know is, ang dami kong nireject na shots. Ang dami kong nireject na shots dyan. Yung mga hindi edited version, nakakatakot. Hindi pantay-pantay, ang kulay ng skin, mga ganon. Ito pinantay. Ang dami kong nireject, but I did not post all of those rejected pictures. Alam niyo ba bakit? Because of shame. Aba, naiya ako eh. Bakit naman ipopost ko sa profile pic na yung nakakahiya, yung pangit, di ba? Pero sa totoo lang, maliit na bagay lang naman yung picture. Di ba? Among all the aspects of our lives, yung picture, very superficial naman. Hindi na dapat itinakahiya. Lahat naman tayo, ginawang maganda ng Diyos, hindi na ng katabi. Di ba ang ganda? Di ba ang pogi? Kahit hindi pa inedit. Ang pogi at ang ganda naman ng katabi. Sa maliit na bagay lang naman yung shape na ganyan. But the truth is, there are so many people living in shame. There are so many people living in guilt. Living now, they are very embarrassed with the circumstances of their lives. I met a father here in the East who committed adultery. Nagkaroon ng mistress at nabuntis pa niya yung mistress. Nabuntis pa niya yung mistress niya. Nung na-discover ng wife niya at ng mga anak niya, it really broke their hearts. Sobra, na-betray ang trust, nawala ang pagtitiwala ng pagmamahal, naghiwalay, broken family. And that father was living in shame. Kasi hiya siya eh. Hiya siya sa nagawa niya. No, sumama muna siya dun sa mistress niya, tapos pinalaki yung anak nila. He was living in shame because of what he did. Many people are like that, no? Nabubuhay ng nahihiya sa mga nagawa nila. I have this employee in the hospital. Yung shame naman niya was the fact that she grew up very poor. Napakahirap ng pamilya nila. Parang ang existence nila daw talaga isang kahit, isang tuka. It was really very difficult for them to provide food for the table when they were growing up. Mga bata pa itong empleyado ko, nakaalala niya talaga na minsan hindi sila kumakain. And it was really a source of shame for her. Na nakakaya na ganun yung circumstances and she was living with that guilt, with that shame. Kahit hindi naman daw niya yung kasalanan. Meron pa akong kakilala. This person, he was also living in shame kasi naman yung pamilya niya, halos lahat puro convict or criminal. No? Yung tatay niya snatcher. Yung isa niyang kapatid na babae, prostitute, parang si Rahab. May isa siyang kapatid na lalaki na drug pusher. No? Yung nanay naman niya, reyna ng saklaan. Yung mga illegal na gambling dun sa kanilang lugar. Talagang ikinahihiya niya na yung pamilya niya ay gano'n. Puro convicts, pabalik-balik na lang sa kulungan, mga criminal, they perform criminal acts. So yung taong yun din, living in shame. And lastly, yung pang-apat na ikikwento ko sa inyo, I have a counselee. He is gay, no, member of the LGBT community. He wants to change. Kaya naging counseling siya, naging part ng aking Unfailing Love Life group for LGBTs. Pero, itong counseling ko na ito, nabaon sa utang. Dahil naubos yung pera niya because he would pay men to have a relationship with him. Sinusustentuhan niya, binabayaran niya yung mga lalaki hanggang sa nabaon na siya sa utang. And hiyang-hiya siya. Kahit walang-wala na siya, hindi niya malapitan yung family niya dahil hiyang-hiya siya sa reason kung bakit siya nabaon sa utang. Hiyang-hiya siya mag-approach sa mga friends niya because he's embarrassed. He's ashamed why he incurred such a big debt. I'm sure marami kayong kakilala nabubuhay ng may shame. Baka kayo nabubuhay kayo ng may shame. And sometimes, no, yung shame natin, our guilt, our shame takes over our entire lives. No, sometimes because of our shame, hopelessness starts to enter our hearts. No? It starts to enter our spirit, our minds, and takes over our entire lives. Kaya yung mga taong gano'n, sinasabi nila na, hindi na ako magbabago, hindi na mawawala yung shame ko. May forever pala, because my shame will stay with me forever. Do you agree with that?
No.
Do you agree? No. Hindi totoo yun, di ba? Because everyone can change, tama? Because God can help us change. God can remove us from a hopeless situation and change the circumstances of our life. Tama po ba? Palakpakan niyo ang Diyos. Kaya nga natin sinasabi, your story is not over. Because that father I'm talking about, I was telling you about, yung father na yun, na-realize niya, hindi pwedeng matapos yung buhay ko, na ang label ko, adulterer. Hindi pwedeng matapos ang buhay niya sa pagiging adulterer. Naniwala siya na his story is not over. Alam niyo, he ended the relationship with his mistress kaya sinusuportahan niya yung anak niya. Nag-repent siya. He reconciled with his wife, with his children, at ngayon nagsusumikap siya muli na maging mabuting asawa, maging mabuting husband, maging mabuting father doon sa lahat ng mga anak niya. Palakpakan niyo nga ang Diyos. True story ko ha. True story. Yung staff ko who grew up in poverty, napakasipag mag-aral yun. Nagpursige, nakakuha ng scholarships, nakapag-medicine. Naka-imagine pa kayo ng isang batang sa shanties, sa squatter na natira, nagme-medicine, siya yun. Nagpursige. Alam niyo ba para magkaroon ng baon? Nung nagme-medicine siya, nagbebenta siya ng mani sa mga classmates niya. At sinasabi pa nga niya, ang susosyal nga ng classmates ko, pero kinapala na daw niya ang mukha niya. Di ba sosyal naman karamihan na nagme-medicine, no? Kinakapala ng mukha, nagbebenta ng mani para may baon, and now she's a successful doctor. Di ba? Unti-unti niya inaahon yung pamilya niya from poverty. Eh yung nakilala ko na puro kriminal ang pamilya. Ang harsh. Nagsikap din mag-aral. Nagsikap, nagpursige. Naging board top-notcher ng civil engineering board exam. Imagine, anak ng saklaan queen. Anak ng snatcher. Board top-notcher ng civil engineering. Parang, because these people said, hindi dyan matatapos ang storya ng buhay ko. My story is not over. Kaya nagsumikap. Ngayon, alam niyo, binigyan niya ng water station. Yung pamilya niya parang hindi na gumawa ng illegal. Binigyan niya ng sari-sari store. May maliit din na karinderya. Para legal na ang pinagkakakitaan. And that counseling of mine, na baon sa utang, naging entrepreneur. Ang dami pang side hustle para lang maiahon niya yung sarili niya sa pagkakautang. At hindi pa yun, nagpapa-counsel, nagpapa-psychotherapy para ma-overcome din niya yung addiction niya to homosexual acts. Kasi sabi niya, hindi magtatapos ang buhay niya. Ang storya ng buhay niya sa pagiging baon sa utang at addict sa sex. Parang pakanyang Panginoon. I'm sure many of us, we have so many sources of shame, including myself. And I'm sure many of you will ask this important question. So how do you conquer shame? How do you conquer shame? And to teach us how we are able to conquer shame, I would like to call on my fellow builder here in the Peace Bay area, Brother John Bell Rodriguez.